Hello, everyone. Welcome for today's very special event, including an interview with Dr. Nancy MacKay and Sri Ravi Shankar on inspired leadership during uncertain times, which will start right after we have a meditation from Gurudev. My name is Oliver Basner, and I'm a MacKay Forum Chair here in Calgary. I'll be your MC and host for today's session. Focused learning events are really a part of everything that we do here at MacKay CEO Forums. It's part of our ongoing commitment to helping CEOs, business owners, and even senior leaders be the best they can be for the benefit of themselves, their teams, and the organization as a whole. I know you're all excited to get going, so let me do the introductions. First of all, I'm pleased to introduce our interviewer today, who is Dr. Nancy MacKay, founder and CEO of MacKay CEO Forums. MacKay CEO Forums' vision is to populate the world with inspiring virtual leaders, which we bring to life through various high-impact peer learning and focused forum groups we operate right across Canada. A meditator herself, Nancy's a highly regarded, trusted advisor to countless CEOs and other senior leaders, and is known for her passion, energy, drive to serve and support the success of others. Thank you, Nancy, for being here with us today to help everyone be more inspired during these uncertain times. I'm also honored to introduce a man who really needs no introduction, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, founder of the Art of Living Foundation, the Transformational Leadership for Excellence, otherwise known as TLEX, the International Association for Human Values, and the World Forum for Ethics in Business. The Art of Living Foundation is an international, nonprofit, educational, and humanitarian organization in over 159 countries and has touched the lives now of almost 500 million people globally. Sri Ravi Shankar has authored over 40 books, has a bachelor's degree in physics, and has received 18 honorary PhDs. In 1982, after coming out of 10 days of silence, Sri birthed a powerful breathing technique called Sudarshan Kriya, which is the foundation of the Art of Living's flagship program called the Happiness Program, which is proven to reduce anxiety, stress, and depression, and is also part of my personal daily meditation practice. You know, I've said it more than once to many, many people over the last month. I don't know how anyone right now gets through the day without the Sudarshan Kriya technique. I also had the honor of spending some time with Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar this time last year when I was in India with Pooja Tolani from the Art of Living Canada. So I know that you are all in for a real treat, amazing words of wisdom and guidance to assist you during these difficult times. And there's one thing, there's no one better, I believe, suited to be talking about inspired leadership, whether in your company, your families, or yourselves, than one of the most inspiring leaders in the world. Also, as Nancy goes through the interview right after the meditation, I want to encourage you to do one thing, and that's to think about one concept or one piece of information that's being shared today for yourself personally or your organization, how you can implement that. You know, when the interview's finished, I'll give you a quick opportunity to make a commitment to yourself. And it really is part of our high accountability culture. So Gurudev, would you be so kind as to lead us through the meditations to start? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, MacKay. And wonderful to have Dr. Nancy with us. See, music and meditation go together. This is the most ancient instrument called Veena. It's 10,000-year-old instrument. So it's from the Vedic times. So we will have about 5 minutes of this music in between the meditation, and then we slip into meditation. I will like to guide you all into a short meditation, about 20-22 minutes. So let's understand, meditation is not concentration. To do any work, we need concentration, we need presence of mind. Meditation is just opposite. It's deep relaxation. We let go of all that all efforts. We don't make any efforts in meditation. So let's understand these few minutes that we will be meditating. We sit comfortably, we relax, and be still for a few minutes. So if you are sitting in not very comfortable chair, make yourself you are so comfortable. and you leave your hands free, your palms on your lap, and sit back and just relax. And you don't need to follow the instruction very intently. You just take it whatever comes as much as you want to. Otherwise, you don't need to even follow all the instructions. The instructions are there just to guide you to move into silence. Meditation is a journey from movement to stillness and from sound to silence. So we have a deep corner within us, which is the source of all creativity, which is source of intuition, which is the source of joy and unconditional love. And to tap that, we need to go and be silent. From the chattering mind, we ease ourselves from the chattering mind to go into the depth of silence. This is the whole principle or philosophy. So let us sit back with our shoulders relaxed, body relaxed. Now let's breathe in and lift our shoulders up to touch our ears if we can, so that our spine is elongated, is stretched, and then bring our shoulders back and we breathe out and relax. Now, let's close our eyes and become aware of our whole body. Let us recollect the weight of our body, whatever it is, 60 kilos or 120 pounds, 150 pounds, whatever is our weight, let us just recollect. We take a deep breath in, and as we breathe out, let's place the weight of our weight on the chair, on the sofa, or on the floor we are sitting. Rather, let us realize the chair we are sitting is carrying the weight of our body. We came into this planet weighing just 5 kilos or 4 kilos, or 8 pounds. And today we weigh 60, 70, 80 kilos. Let us honor our own body. Our body is a precious gift to us from nature. Our body has billions and trillions of cells. Let's feel our own body. Body is the first dimension of our existence. Now let's become aware of the second dimension, the breath. Let's take a deep breath in and let go. Let us become aware of the air all around us and inside of us. So we are in air. Let's become aware of the air all around us and inside of us. And let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Incoming breath energizes the body, and outgoing breath brings relaxation. And this phenomenon is happening all the time. Let us welcome the incoming breath with a smile, and let us see off the outgoing breath like we would do any honored guest. Breathe in. Let us breathe in with reverence to our own breath and breathe out as you would see off a dear friend. So let us become aware of our mind. Our body is like the wick of a candle, and mind is like the glow all around it. In fact, our life is radiating from every cell of our body. Whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, just let them come. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, let's give a big hug to them all. Embrace all the thoughts. And let us take another deep breath in and let go. As the body relaxes, the mind seems to be expanding. Let us become aware of the walls of the room we are in or the space around us. A deep breath in and relax. Let us become aware of the empty space above our head. And let go all our efforts. This moment, there is nothing to do and nothing to know either. Just for a few minutes, let us just relax, let go all our efforts. Nothing to do, nothing to know. And allow the sound to fill the entire space. Relax into it more and more. the source of life. You are peace. Repose in yourself. Let go. Let go of all efforts. Let us take our attention to the top of the head. Simultaneously, let us take our attention to our breath. Notice the rhythm of the breath. Our breathing has become very subtle. Let us keep a big smile on our face. As we smile, all the muscle in our face gets deep relaxation. Repose with a smile. Let us repose in ourselves with a smile. Let us observe the temperature of our breath, the volume of the breath. And let's keep relaxing more and more. Let us, let our smile percolate to the back of our head. Just imagine the back of your head is also smiling. The effect of smile getting into our ears. Our ears are smiling. Let the smile percolate to our throat and neck. Let every cell of our body start relaxing now. Let them smile, blossom, relax right this moment. As though our whole body is blossoming, relaxing, smiling. Let go of all your efforts. Any tension anywhere, just let it be. If we find some discomfort, let it be for a little while. Let's bear with all the discomfort. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out slowly and gradually. Another deep breath in with a smile and breathe out with a smile. You are peace. You are peace. You are. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's take notice of the temperature of our breath now. Let's notice that the entropy is down. Let us become aware of the space around our body, the space in the room we are in. Another deep breath in with a smile and breathe out with a smile. This time, let's become aware of the vast sky and millions of stars out there. Another deep breath in. And as we breathe out, let us become aware of our body and surroundings. And slowly and gradually, we may open our eyes. Was it good? Was it good? We meditated for about 5 minutes, right? 24? 24 minutes we meditated. Um, how many of you we didn't feel the time? You can raise your thumbs up. You didn't feel the time? Okay, very good. Yes, now today we have joined us in meditation from around the world. 142 countries, about 2 million people have joined us today from around the world, and they're eager to also listen to all our dialogue. Yes, Dr. Nancy can start.
So Gurudev,
Yes, yes.
I would like to start by thanking you for this very special gift of meditation that you have brought to our MacKay CO Forums community from across Canada, with over 1,100 business leaders that were invited to participate, and to the millions of people who joined us in the meditation. Thank you for that gift and for the impact you've had in the world. It's such an honor to be in your presence here today. I would also like to thank Oliver Basner for bringing Gurudev to our MacKay CO Forums community across Canada, and to the people participating and anyone that was involved in bringing our community together here. Now more than ever, we do need to come together and find ways to create inspiring leadership. So thank you, Oliver, for your commitment to populating the world with inspiring leaders. Gurudev, I have a number of questions I would like to ask you, too many, and I know we have a short period of time with you. So I will start with the first question, because my dream and our dream at MacKay CO Forums is really focused on populating the world with inspiring business leaders. That's our community that we serve. What advice do you have for business leaders during this COVID crisis?
I know this is a very tough time. We all know it's a very tough time for business leaders, for manufacturing sector, for virtually everybody, the workers and everyone. But one thing I would like to tell you, this is nothing short of a World War III. After World War II, when there has been a devastation, the entire globe is struggling with this one issue. But I would like to say that we would definitely overcome this. Mankind is very resilient and will find a way to get over this crisis. We should be prepared to start afresh and new. This preparedness comes from inner strength. We should feel that, yeah, this is a war that we are fighting. After the war, we are going to really rebuild the economy of the world. And with zeal and enthusiasm, we all should move together. For this, we need three things. One is we need a deep faith in ourselves. Yes, uh, almost a sense of valor to rebuild economy in the world. That is one thing we need. Second is faith in the goodness of people in the world. The world is full of good people who are ready to help each other. So business will have to thrive on the trust and goodness of people around us. Third is there is an unseen power which listens to our prayers. And this big power in the universe is very compassionate and is as much loving as our own parents. So if we have these three ideas in our mind, I think we can get over any challenge.
Thank you. And I would like to ask you a question about inspiring leadership. You have inspired millions of people around the world to show up as inspiring leaders through so many initiatives that you've put in place. What is your definition of inspired leadership? And does it need to change in order for us to win during this COVID crisis?
Yeah, I see. I have a simple formula. This is my formula. Okay. Clarity in mind, purity in heart, and sincerity in action. Whatever we do, we are very sincere and we are compassionate. And business you should not do with your heart. Business should be done with the mind, with the head. I'll just give you a simple example. Suppose you run a business with 50 people, and by letting go of 10 of them, you will be able to survive the business with and help those 40. You should go for it. You should not just go into an emotional thing. Oh, I don't want to leave any of the 50. Let me keep and make the whole business sink. We cannot allow the ship to sink. So if that is a policy of fairness to the business, to be compassionate to the business as well as to the human being, the humanity. So in these times, trying times, we need to be a little more compassionate. This is the normal time in business. You do this here. We need to really be a little more considerative and more compassionate to the needs of the people. And one another important thing is when there is nothing much to do, you sit in a silent corner of your home. This is when brilliant ideas come to us. All creative things, all innovations have come when someone has sat by themselves, not in a crowd. So this is the time to bring out the creativity in us, to learn more things that we have been wanting to do all these years. So lockdown can be a source of creativity. Maybe everyone, every leader in every business can throw some challenges. The people in their company, asking them to come up with something creative. It could be anything. Creative prose, creative ads, creative, maybe some gimmick or whatever, right?
Absolutely. And do you think it's possible for people to be creative and innovative and more compassionate without meditation?
Well, I would say meditation is the source of intuition and innovation, both. But there are people who are very calm in their nature. Maybe they will be able to find that silence within themselves without any technique. That is possible. Taking a walk in Banff or sitting around in around the lake, Lake Louise, for example, or any nice, I mean, Canada has thousands of lakes. When you sit somewhere, be with the nature 100%, meditation happens to you. You may not call it meditation, but without meditation, you cannot have that calmness, and it keeps happening to us.
So do you see that this whole COVID crisis has led to a lot more meditation, mindfulness, and the resistance to it in the past has been overcome out of necessity through this self-isolation?
You know, it definitely has given us a break from rat race that we were into. The society was so busy. Everyone was all the time busy, never had time for their own family, could not sit with their own kids. This has simply pushed everyone to do something compulsorily, right? Everybody had to sit together and rethink the priorities in life and think about oneself. Who am I? What do I want? Where do I go? Some of these very basic questions, which we may call it as philosophical and keep it in a box, are staring at us in these days, right? And I tell you one more thing, the nature is tremendously rejoicing. Canada, of course, it's not an issue in Canada. Canada has always been very caring for nature, and it's been very beautiful, pristine nature. But other parts of the world, especially here in India, can you imagine dolphins surfaced in Mumbai, a place like Mumbai? And in Bangalore, the weather has never been so nice. After 50 years, the weather has become like what it was 50 years ago. Very pleasant, very cool. So birds have started coming out in big cities, which was not seen before. Rivers have become purer. They started rejuvenating them. Nature seemed to be rejuvenating itself. That's happening in other parts of the world. But Canada always has its, very pure environment.
Absolutely. So Gurudev, what is your purpose? And what is the impact you want to have on the world during this COVID crisis?
See, I don't want people to get into depression, number one. So this is the time people feel so depressed, or sit at home and argue with kids, argue with their spouse, get into tiff and get frustrated. We need to avoid all these things during this time. Because you are sitting with the same people the whole time, you are bound to argue, you are bound to, and there are generation gaps, they're bound to get into conflicts. I think this time is where we should avoid all type of conflicts. Use this time to do something creative rather than getting bored. Use this time to acquire more knowledge, do some exercises. This is the time to do some yoga, make our body flexible, and meditate and make mind fresh and alive. See, mind, when we meditate, mind becomes so fresh and sharp and happier. And this is the time to find our inner happiness and spread it around us. See that the people don't get into depression, aggression. These are two big issues in society. Either we become very aggressive on one side, And the other issue is you become so depressed. So we need to get people out of these extremities and bring a smile on everyone's face.
And tell us about the happiness program, which millions of people around the world have participated in. I'm looking forward to getting involved and spreading the word with our MacKay community. Tell us about that, the happiness program.
You know, in happiness program, we call it happiness program because everybody who did the program became very happy and they wanted to call it. I said, okay, you can go ahead and call it happiness program. It's simply a little bit understanding about the 7 layers of our own existence. That is body, a little bit about our body, you know, what would be good for us to have some proper nutrition and all that. A little bit about our breath. This is something we have ignored because neither at home nor at school anyone teaches anything about our breath. You know, we breathe in 10,000 liters of air every day. And we don't use our full lung capacity. We are using only 30% of our lung capacity. And for every emotion of ours, there is a particular rhythm in the breath. Sometimes we feel not so good, and we end up wondering why we are not feeling so good, and we leave it to the time to make us feel better. Knowing the patterns of breath or rhythms of the breath, we can change our moods. We can get rid of our creative blocks. We are the writer's block is there, that you want to do something creative and something comes as a block, you're unable to write. All these blocks that happens to us naturally can be overcome by learning about breath. So we learn a little bit about body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego, and there is something deep in us, the self, our soul, which is not changing at all. We learn a little bit about these 7 layers of consciousness and the 4 sources of energy, that food, the first source of energy, good sleep. Sleep is a big issue. Many don't get good sleep. So the second source of energy, third, as I said, the breathing, breath. And the fourth is a meditative mind, how we can have a more relaxed, happy mind, come what may. These are few things that we learn with some very powerful breathing techniques and processes, meditation processes. Now it's online also. So over 4 days, 2 hours each day, we learn a lot about ourselves and how to keep a smile in all tough times, in trying times, is something this course brings to people. Yeah.
Gurudev, I'm curious, what's a day in the life of Gurudev during this self-isolation phase?
My day is very different because I used to travel everywhere around the world, all the continent. But nowadays it's all in one place. Even there, I keep talking to different continents on Skype. Twice we do guided meditation, morning 12 and evening 7:30 Indian time, where people from all over the world, they join us for meditation and lead them. Then the whole day of mine is spent in looking at different projects. Here we are giving some food to the daily wage workers, very poor people who have to survive on a daily wage. And I also interact with many institutions. We have a university. We run about 800 and odd schools. And now we have gone online. All the schools have 80,000 kids study. So my family is very big.
And how have you made the transition from traveling all over the world to millions of people on Zoom meditating with you and connecting with you?
Yeah, I'm available. My life is for everybody. I'm available for anybody. We have a helpline also. and we are doing programs in the prisons and around the world. And so that those who are condemned into the prison, we bring out the real human being that is hiding. I often say, inside every culprit, there is a victim crying for help. So we see what all we can do to help people. So then I go to bed around 1 or 2 in the night. Morning 4:35, I wake up. 2.5, 3 hours sleep is good enough for me, but I do meditate twice, so that takes care of enough rest. Then I have 2 meals a day. I have a lunch and then a dinner. So
And Gurudev, who inspires you?
I take inspiration from everybody, especially from children. And my mother was a big inspiration for me, no doubt. And then my teacher, who recently passed away, last month he passed away, he was with Mahatma Gandhi. He was a teacher to Mahatma Gandhi also. He was also a very big inspiration for me because he stayed with Mahatma Gandhi for 40 years. And you know how long he lived? 121 years. He was an old, he just left his body last month.
I'm sorry to hear that. And what's your goal? How long are you going to live for, and what are you doing to make sure that the world gets you for as long as possible?
Yeah, Nancy, my vision is to see a world free from violence, a world full of smile, world free from stress and violence. Violence free, stress free world is what I like to see. I like families to be happy. I want people to be happy and get over prejudice. All type of prejudice has come in the world, which is cause of many conflicts, you know. So in short, I can say the very principle of art of living is to make life a celebration. That can happen with a disease-free body and confusion-free mind, inhibition-free intellect, trauma-free memory, and sorrow-free soul. This is the very ideal with which this foundation began. So I trained number of teachers around the world, about 28,000 teachers around the world, and they are taking the mission forward. They are teaching people some of the old ancient techniques which were kept as a big secret and were taught only to royalties, were not given to public. I said, this is very useful for people, and I said, we have to open the doors. And so we brought the ancient techniques and modern things together, and that is the mission, to give the best of East and best of West to people around the globe.
And that's the art of living.
Make everyone feel we are one world family. We may be different in our thoughts, in our looks, in our approach, but we were part of one family, one global family. This is what is our vision.
And that's the vision for the Art of Living organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's a not-for-profit organization. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So if we fast forward to 20 years from now, what would the Art of Living accomplish? We've stepped into the future, and it's 20 years, and it's only 20 years, but we're in this virtual world now. Things move a lot faster. What will you have accomplished?
I would give that vision. I would expect everyone to take their own vision. It's a non-profit in every country. So the youth of the country, youth of the youth of the organization, volunteers of the organization, they should take it forward. They can have their own dreams to bring the humanities, human values, and compassion to society, and they can they can have their own vision. They can move forward, make the world a better place to live for future generations.
That's wonderful. And what is your message to youth during this crisis?
I would say youth, as I already said, this is the time for them to learn more. They can learn more languages, they can learn more skills, they can learn music, they can learn instruments, and they can also do something very creative. They can learn cooking. Instead of getting fried inside in the house, they can start learn. They can learn some cooking and do something, right?
That's great. Yeah, that's not just for youth, that's for all of us, right? Well, Gurudev, I would like to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your meditation with all of us here participating today. And I'm going to turn things over to Oliver Basner, who's going to properly thank you as well and have a message for all the participants. So thank you so much, Gurudev.
Wonderful, Nancy, talking to you. All the best to all of you.
Oliver, over to you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you,
all the best to every one of you.
Thank you.
Wonderful being with you all, seeing you all on this Skype.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Nancy and Gurudev, for again such wisdom. And one of the things that I really took away today was when you said how do we get ourselves through COVID, and what should our leaders be looking at? And you said a deep faith in themselves, faith in the goodness of the people, because people are there to help, and the unseen power that listens to prayer. So great words of wisdom. I'd also like to say that I promised everyone that I would remind you. There's been so many beautiful nuggets today that were shared, and wise words. And so what is that commitment that you want to make to yourself or to your families or to your organization? Just one thing you can take away that you can take action on today, because that is how MacKay looks at helping leaders is through that self-accountability. And I want to share one quick story before we leave. And I had the opportunity to visit Sri Sri University when I was in India last year. And I was blown away because this is a campus that is drug and alcohol free. And I asked the dean of the university, I said, so tell me, you must have some students who show up who are addicted to drugs and alcohol. Kids are kids, and we have it all over the world that happens. And he said to me, we absolutely do. Usually there's one or two handfuls of students in the first year who come that are addicted to drugs and alcohol. And through the different practices and techniques that they're taught, including the Sudesh and Kriya, which is known as the happiness program, through the meditations, through the coaching that they receive, they have 100% success rate of recovery so far at the university. Now let's compare that to this part of the world in North America, where I talked to a friend of mine who's a psychologist, and she said they would love to get it to 50%. So the work that you're doing is wonderful, and it's being passed on to our youth. And I'm so grateful for everything that you do in the world. And just before I let everybody move on with their days, I also want to say again a big thank you to everyone. The organization that you call TLEX, which is the powerful programs, they have powerful programs for leaders and teams, and it's the Transformational Leadership for Excellence. So MacKay members, you'll receive an email on these powerful programs after this particular Zoom call today and after this particular broadcast. So thank you, Gurudev. I was also present in India when you launched Drug Free and Alcohol India, and was honored to be there in the right time, and totally coincidence. And so I've been inspired since I met you, and will continue to be inspired, by everything that your organizations do. So thank you to all of you. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay happy. Namaste.